Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me once again for Get Your Money Right with Yvonne. I am Yvonne. How's it going? As we like to do, I just want to stop for a second and just kind of ask you, how are you feeling? How are things going? We just want to acknowledge that there's the struggle, right? And our challenges are all different. And I just want you, for really all of us, to kind of step back and go, how are you feeling? What is going on? How are things in your world? And, like I said, at some point, we're going to have this where I hear from you. And right now, I'm just sharing, but I'd like for us to grow to the point where we will start to hear from some of you. And with that, we shall move on. What's going on with me? Okay, so nothing new from the last time we chatted. Um, I just kind of have to tell you this because I am a wee bit, what's the word I want to describe me? A little bit anal, just a little bit, just because I like to think through things. What's the next step? And how are we going to do this whole thing called retirement, right? So I'm putting the money away, and you also have to be thinking when you're ready to go. So, in other words, when you're ready to leave the workforce, now what? Because many people, they're super good about, well, at least some are really good about putting money away, but how am I going to use it after that for 30 years? So sometimes I'll stress, okay, I've got this much. How much will I be taking out? And will it cover my needs? My needs and my wants, because, this is our lives and we want to have fun now and we want to have fun into the future, and you just really have to plan for all of that. I'm trying to think, what is that saying? If you fail to plan, then plan to fail. And we're doing these videos because we don't want you to fail, and we just want you to just start looking at the future and really taking care of yourselves. So many of you who've watched these videos know I like to read about retirement, and I read people's stories, and I go, okay, so that will work. That one won't work so well. But I'm not an expert, right? I don't have an MBA. What's that? A Master's of Business Administration? I don't have that. I don't have a multi-million dollar portfolio talking to people about money. I don't have that either. None of that. And I have never counseled anybody on money because I'm not a professional. Okay. I've been to the school of hard knocks. Okay. So I'm just merely sharing from my own perspective. Maybe some of you will see yourselves in my struggle, and we're all going to come out on the other side. So, with all of that, I'm not a professional, but there is something that the money people are telling us that I can't agree with. I look at it and I've tried. It's like, that's simply not going to work for me and maybe others like me. I don't know. But one of the things they say is we shouldn't worry about putting money into a retirement account until we've put 3 to 6 months worth of expenses into savings. So you're saving 3 to 6 months of your salary and you're just putting that away before you think about retirement. And I have to tell you right now, for me, wrong strategy, right? And the reason why I say that is because if I had waited to put that kind of money in a savings account before I started addressing retirement, I would never have put money away for retirement. Okay, I'm just going to be honest. I'm just going to say it straight out to you. I don't believe in that. Okay, you have to do all these different things. Of course, you should have money put away in a savings account for emergencies. It's just is something you need to do, something that we all need to do. But I couldn't have afforded that. Okay. Most who are watching these, we're making less than $100,000. And, let's just be honest. There's only so much. We all are fixed income. We always want to say that about older people receiving their pensions and Social Security. They're on a fixed income. Yeah, they are. But so are the rest of us. Okay. We get paid. There's X amount. What are you going to do with it? So what I tend to do is the first thing that comes off the top before I even get a paycheck is my money's going into my 401k account. Okay. And I'm purchasing some other stocks too. All of that comes out of the paycheck right off the bat. Okay. I've got X amount of dollars. How much are my bills? Okay. Because I don't use credit that I can't pay back. Something to think about, something to work toward, because if you're always paying off old debts, are you ever getting ahead? And the answer to that is no. So when I decide to buy something, it's because I've put money away for it. So every month that credit card gets paid off. Okay, so the bills are taken care of. I put money away for taxes. In case there's any taxes owed, I didn't have enough taken out for my paycheck. So there's that. I have money put aside for insurance for the cars. There's that. And then as of last year, I had to start putting money away to pay my tabs because they're a little bit more than they used to be since my car is newer. So there's that. Now, I am still putting money away. $100 a month into savings, and I've had to tap that savings account for some unexpected expense. But that, excuse me, that money is there. And so there's just, if I had looked at it this way, so put your $100 away every month until you hit 3 to 6 months worth of salary to take care of any expenses, emergencies, where would I be? I wouldn't have a 401k. So you really need to balance it, people. Take care of your expenses. Make sure, get yourself to that point where you're paying your bills off. So does that mean lowering your expenses? Probably. Does it mean the possibility of a roommate to get more in the coffers? Maybe. I looked at all of that. One thing I did do was I made a change to my medical expenses because there were different ways that I could go about it. So I picked a plan that has an HSA, but it also has a smaller premium. But, with that, it's a balancing act because I have a smaller premium, yes. But if anything were to happen medical-wise, more is going to come out of my pocket. Okay, so that HSA I'm putting money into, if there was something really expensive, I've got to pay that out of pocket, but I have the money. So that's how I chose to look at it. That's one way I was able to save some cash. The other thing I did was I'm fortunate, I'm probably one of the last ones, or in my age group, we might be among the last to have a pension accessible to us. And so I went to it a little bit early. I go, I'm just going to do this because I'm working to pay off student debt. And I have a plan to get all of that taken care of in the next 4 years. And so, yeah, just whatever your circumstances are, figure it out. And yes, put money away for emergencies. You never know what's going to pop up. But you also have to take care of yourself looking forward to retirement. It's going to come up quicker than you think. I remember being young and I didn't realize I was making jokes, but about age, and that's come back to bite me. we're all going to age, and it's a wonderful thing. Okay, don't ever say, I don't. This whole business of getting older sucks. And there are certain aspects of it, sure, that do, but we're fortunate. Okay, we've grown. We know things we didn't know when we were younger, and we can maybe impart some wisdom on others. So just think about it that way. Take care of yourselves now, into the future, and whatever you do, if you haven't already do it, because I'm a harp on this. If you haven't already done this, go to your HR department and find out what retirement vehicle is accessible to you and get yourself signed up, because it's all about time. Okay, the younger that you start putting money into your retirement account, whichever, 401k, I think 403b, and there's some other options too, right? I don't know them all. But the sooner you start putting money away into those accounts, you have the whole benefit of time. Time and interest accruing and creating a portfolio for yourself. So again, the younger you start, the better at the finish line. So with that, because we like to keep these between 10, 12 minutes in that time frame, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in to Get Your Money Right with Ivonne, me. And I can't wait to talk to you next time. It's a lot of fun for me to share. And at some point, I want to hear back from you too. So with that, you take care. You have a great day and take care of yourselves, okay? Bye-bye.